Now, we've been saying for over a year on this show that even if Trump wins, they will not let him put his hand on the Bible on January 20th,
You've
2025.
been saying that, and I don't like it when you say it because it scares me.
Well, now it's coming to fruition. I mean, look, I've been saying it. I think they've tried everything they possibly can. Well, let's try to shoot him multiple times. Let's try to indict him. Let's try to throw him in prison. All right, now we'll try the election. That didn't work. That was a colossal failure. Now that he's won in a landslide victory, what are they going to do next? Well, the Democrats in the deep state are going to do everything in their power to keep Trump from being inaugurated on January 20th. We'll come back to the 14th Amendment piece of this in a second, but first, the other plan. This is amazing. Will this happen before Thanksgiving? Kamala Harris should be the first female president of the United States before Trump takes over, says a former Harris aide.
You guys, that happened on Veep. That's exactly what happened, is she gets an interim presidency and loses the election and doesn't get a full term. I can't with this.
It's unbelievable, the idea that, and look, I have a running bet with a high-ranking member of an administration. I am not going to name names here. We have a steak dinner bet, and I said, will President Biden step down, resign the office of the presidency, and install Kamala Harris as president of the United States? He says no. I say yes. I told him how I want my steaks cooked, and because I think we're getting very, very close to this actually happening.
Why do you think he would do this, Clayton? He clearly hates her.
Well, there are a couple of reasons why he would do this. This would, in many ways, to try to cement his legacy, which is now foundering, and he will go down as the worst president in American history. Mm-hmm. Could he be the president that actually brings in the first female president of the United States? Would he be able to do that? He steps aside. The election didn't go this way. He becomes the first president to basically hand it over to a woman. He's the ultimate feminist.
I don't think that's the flex that you think it is.
For liberals, it is.
Exactly, because you're installing, a lame duck? Your first female president is a lame duck for, weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Months? Well, that's the thing. Months, but possibly not. So that's the key, right? She becomes president, but possibly beyond January 20th after Inauguration Day. So all of these pieces are coming together. But here is this Harris aide floating this idea, and this is coming from multiple people now. CNN putting out this idea. Watch.
He is looking for. That is my question. I'll start with you.
Joe Biden has been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days. Make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat, and it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see. Is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats.
Okay, this has now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now in a
Congratulations.
season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it will, but I think this.
Yeah. So it's not just an internet meme, because Democrats have been talking about this privately. And so somebody gave him some sort of marching orders. You're going to be on CNN on Sunday. Mm-hmm. You drop this. You drop this bomb. You start floating this bombshell out there. You'll recall this is exactly how it started when they started the coup against Biden to remove him from office. They started with the Sunday show trickle. Democrats are quietly chattering behind the scenes. By the way, I've been hearing about this for months. That's the reason I have this running bet going right now, because this isn't just some internet meme. No, this is what's being floated. He should step aside by Democrats and allow her to become president of the United States. Mm-hmm. He said it. He said it.
He did say it. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It looked like he wasn't supposed to. Like they were like, oh wait, no, we're going to let people think that's crazy for a while. Yeah. Until it happens. And
you're all
absolutely,
conspiracy
it seems
theorists.
crazy to me. But it also seemed crazy to me when you said that Kamala Harris would take over the candidacy for the 2024.
Remember when everyone mocked me for that?
I did.
Yeah. Well, you're an idiot, Clayton. Kamala Harris is going to be picked and put in there and not have to go through a nomination process. You're a conspiracy theorist, Clayton. You're an idiot.
That doesn't mean you're not an idiot.
I'm an idiot, but it happened.
They want to do this because they want Trump to have to change his merch, too, because he wouldn't be 47, he would be 48. It's like, how
Right.
petty.
Dang.
That little hyphen on the hat, 45-47, then it would be what, 45-48, if he's allowed to become president. Because
He would just sell more then. It would be stupid. This is stupid.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
It's
just like
stupid. It's frightening. Go ahead.
Chaos, but I think that would be the only legitimate reason to do it, would just be to be petty and make somebody have to change all their merch. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Just like when Obama left. Yeah, just like when Clinton's team left and they took all the W's off the keyboards in the White House, so George W. Bush's staff couldn't use the W's. Like, this is the pettiness of these people right now. But that's one piece of it, right? Will he step aside before Thanksgiving and install Kamala Harris? The other piece of this is much more concerning, and that is the use of the 14th Amendment. Of course, Democrats have been angling for this for quite a while. Let's just read through Section 3 of the 14th Amendment so you understand. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president, vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who had previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But, of course, Congress can sidestep that with a 2/3 of each house and remove that disability from that individual. Well, if Republicans, of course, don't have the majority in the House, they don't have that leverage. That's exactly what Democrats are trying to do. And, of course, they've been laying the groundwork for the idea of trespassing on the Capitol building, insurrection for a long time. Nancy Pelosi on camera, playing right to the camera multiple times, calling it trespassing. Here she was on CNN doing it.
And that's what this is all about.
Secret Service said they have dissuaded him from coming to Capitol Hill. They told him they don't have the resources to protect him here. So at the moment he is not coming, but that could change.
Oh, he comes, I'm gonna punch him out. This is
Oh,
my
no,
moment.
I would pay to see
I've
that.
been waiting for this, for trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I'm gonna punch him out and I'm gonna go to jail and I'm gonna be happy.
I've been waiting for this. Sound like entrapment much? So Jamie Raskin, of course, one of the pioneers of all of this, has said, so this isn't a conspiracy theory. Okay, you have a former Speaker of the House, you have members of Congress who are overseeing the January 6th hearings, saying publicly that they will wait, if he gets elected, they will do everything in their power to disqualify him so he does not then have, on January 6th, cannot become president of the United States and be inaugurated. Here's Jamie Raskin.
And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions.
So,
What?
Yeah. This is, again, not a conspiracy theory. That's a member of the House of Representatives saying this. That's what they're going to do, disqualify the president of the United States. So if that doesn't work, what about the legal angle of this, which is the
would
Jack
take it
Smith
to the
angle?
courts. Then Republicans would have to take that to the Supreme Court, which would uphold. But as we went through with the Jed Rubenfeld video explaining what might happen if there was a tie, is that Democrats could say, well, we're still not going to certify this. Even though the courts have said we're going to do it, Democrats can just straight say no.
Yeah.
No.
And that's what they're playing at here.
And then we have a civil war, right?
Right. Then we have a constitutional crisis and a civil war in the United States. That's exactly what they're playing at here. They absolutely do not want him back in the White House. Full stop, no matter what. And of course, you're hearing over the past few days all of the plans that Trump's team is putting out there on the border, on education, on any litany of things. I mean, there's a whole, and people are freaking out right now about all of these plans for the United States. All the liberals are freaking out right now. And so the Jack Smith piece of this is the other side, which in Zero Hedge just published this morning. Deep State will not surrender to Trump. Jack Smith has another card up his sleeve. So now we know that on November 8th, Jack Smith filed a motion in the United States District Court to basically vacate the briefing in the summary of the January 6th case against Trump, right? It seemed like, oh, this is done. So as Zero Hedge points out, in the second sentence of the motion, it states, the government specifically requests that the court vacate the remaining deadlines in the pretrial schedule to afford the government time to assess the unprecedented circumstance and determine the appropriate course going forward, consistent with the Department of Justice policy. By December 2nd, 2024, the government will file a status report or otherwise inform the court of the results of its deliberations. Here's the key paragraph. Being that Donald Trump has not yet been sworn in, I believe Jack Smith is going to challenge the DOJ's longstanding rule that current presidents